Welcome back, everybody, to the Rick Helps Real Estate Show. We've got Jessica on here. We got Jackie, Pat, What's My Rate McMasters, and Ruby's not on because she's doing some real estate stuff. What's
bad,
up with
Ruby, that?
Bad Ruby,
buddy.
We'll just refer to her as Bad Ruby.
We're just thrilled to be here with you.
Oh, appreciate it. Yeah, this is our first live stream in what, 3 months?
Mm-hmm. It's been a couple months. My life has been empty without you, buddy.
I've been in an undisclosed location, so I'm not at my regular studio. So it took a while to get things figured out. The monitors are smaller, so I got to lean in and look at the stuff. But hey, keeps us young. So anyway,
yeah.
I'm seeing
get closer. I want to see if you've got nose hair.
Yeah. So real estate, Arizona. I mean, let me tee this up from my world, because you guys were, just so everybody knows, we work as a team, so nothing stopped. I mean, Jessica had one closed this week. Jackie's got one closing tomorrow. The wheels still keep moving. The difference is, I was in the hospital almost 7 weeks, not at the same time, thank God, but I'm just not on the Cromford Report looking at data. I'm not pulling up stuff from Axios or Redfin. I'm relying on the news. And I'll tell you, if you're just relying on the news on Arizona real estate, they're not even close. So I thought, man, I can't wait to see what happened when I got back. I was expecting to see some major, major changes. And I didn't, except for interest rates. But I didn't see anything just go pow, when I walked up. Like, for example, this chart here. I mean, here's price cuts per week. We're at the same level we were last March. Now, I'd thought that if the market was as bad as I've been told on all the newspapers and articles, and television stations, at least that number would change, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not seeing it. My 7-day moving average chart is it's a mess, folks, because I wasn't able to update it. So I tried to pull a graph up, showing it just the dumbest thing ever here. And so it, see, I got to pull up our comment section here. So anyway, but it's not showing a huge gap between buyers and sellers. However, the March 1st table on the index, I was telling Jessica earlier, my handy dandy magnifying glass is no longer supported by Chrome, I guess. Oh. Let's see if we can make this bigger. Here we go.
Pat tried to teach me that. Maybe it's in a different spot now. I couldn't find it. Okay, carry on. Sorry about that, Rick.
No, it's okay. No, see how the inventory index has creeped up? Right to the very right there, where it says 100%. Okay, it's gone up. Yet we were climbing with our sales index. There was a gap here back in July, but the gap is slowly starting to form again. So I don't think anybody's expecting to see that during our hot spring market. They're seeing that in the upper end. Things are going crazy up there. But our market, I don't want to say our market, I mean the market in general is just muddling along, Pat.
Yeah. If you didn't watch any of the news lines and we just watched our current data and our current activity in the field, you wouldn't have a clue that there's tons of other news going on. I think that's what's so shocking about it. Like you said, if you watch daily news, you're going to be influenced by that and make assumptions. But watching, just the day-to-day, not day-to-day, but weekly data like we do using our Cromford Report index and, feeling our buyers and sellers in the field, we're seeing a very, very steady, normal market. And that may change, unfortunately with the interest rate increase, but coming into this spring, it's been very normal and very consistent, and the data's there to back that up.
Yeah, it's not going to explode. I mean, April's not going to fly off the shelf. Either is May. I mean, we got a war going on, for crying out loud. And so oil prices being what they are going to start slowing things down. So things could get considerably slower. But as every metric that I measure, even this active listings here, we're right there with last year. I mean, that hasn't gone way up or gone down. I went through number after number trying to find something that plummeted or changed and something that's recent. And even the contract ratio right here is better than last year.
You know what I've heard a lot of, Rick, is that there were, so there was the anticipation. We all had the anticipation the spring market was going to be fantastic, especially when rates dropped under 6. And then when the war broke out and the rates started going up, I anticipated we were going to come to a screeching halt again. I just figured that's what's going to happen as soon as we got to 6.6. And I think there was a lot of people that I was working with, and they're just like, nah, it's time. And they're just kind of continuing on. And so I was surprised by that because and I don't know if you're seeing the same thing, Jessica, but I expected it to really slow down. And it's not the hottest spring market. It's just kind of an average him-ha, moving along, but no drastic up or down.
Well, I'm surprised too. You can't see it in these statistics, but a lot of comments that we've been getting and people sending us their information. Some people have gotten sellers to really make concessions on price and terms. That doesn't show up on any of the data that I'm looking at. Now, I know, Jackie, you negotiated a good one. It's going to close tomorrow. And, that was a lot of back and forth since what, April?
Yeah, we worked with the client since April. And that contract actually had multiple offers. And because we actually didn't win it at first, the other buyer went with the multiple offer, which was full price, and it's in the 800 range. And then the agent got worried that the buyer was going to back out because they were pushing themselves too far, further than what I think they could probably qualify for. And so the agent called me and said, if you guys still want the deal for the original, I won't counter you. And so we got it for what we originally offered and saved 20 grand.
Yep.
Well, that kind of illustrates again the power of just staying in the game.
Very much.
Rates. You guys have got to be shaking your heads more than I am. I mean, they went up to what do we got, 6.4 or something right now? 6.64.
Yeah, they come down a little bit.
But they didn't react wildly when missiles started flying. So
What's
what's
that?
the bond market doing here? They're waiting for Chairman Powell. We all know he's not going to raise rates. What else are they looking at?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah. You're
the rate guy.
Hey, mortgage guy.
I'm just kind of sitting back listening to you guys jibber jabber. So
You're up, Pat.
Okay. No. Here, I got to share my screen. What the hell am I doing here? That's a good. Well, where did you? That's good, Rick. You're back. You're back at it, buddy. You're back at it. I'm sorry. God, that was good. I don't know how the hell you had that all ready to go. You probably know.
He was waiting for the right moment.
To be honest, the last month, it's been obviously kind of nuts to say the least with rates. If you look at it, the beginning of March this is where rates were. This is basically we hit 393 back in end of February, and then obviously March 2nd the war broke out, and it's been just obviously a staircase climb up, this last month. But we're starting to see a ceiling. We saw a ceiling on the 10-year Treasury about 4.45. We're sitting at 4.30 right now, and rates. The last month and a half ago they were 5.996. Quite frankly, they're sitting right now 6 3/8, 6.5. And I think eventually things. You look at this chart. Based on the news that we've seen, quite frankly, my take on it is they could have been a hell of a lot higher with the oil. And you look at oil at 110. Gas, obviously, gas prices were back. We saw gas prices like a couple of years ago under the last administration hit even higher. So we're kind of used to that. But the 10 years coming back down again and softening up. I think eventually, we did get our, Rick, I think we did get our Black Swan event that we always talk about.
Yep.
That obviously happened, but if this ends, who knows? Not to get political, I'm just looking at the facts. I mean, if this ends, this could spur, some new optimism, in the market. Because I mean, like Jackie and Jackie and Jessica said, I'm starting to see, talking to buyers, it's almost like, okay, it's here. Rates have gone from 5.99 to 6 3/8, 6.5. It's on a $475,000 purchase. That's about $110 a month difference. So, but obviously this is, when you see a move like this is brutal in a month. We went from, like I said, 3.93 to really 4.48, 4.5, and rates. I said went from 5.99 to 6. If you look at rates right now, I mean, based on the scenario that I always kind of run, the $475,000 purchase with 5% down, 780 credit score. Back a month ago, you were looking at, if I could blow this up a little bit, I mean, basically back a month ago, you're looking at 6 with a cost of $1,700. Now it's a cost of $7,400. So the internal costs have gone up. But you're looking right now at 6 3/8 is a cost of $1,700. So we're looking at about 3/8 of a point difference. For rates to get back down to the 5.996 range, we're gonna have to see, bond, the 10-year Treasury improve by about 1.5 or so. So we could see that in the next 30, 40 days, see what happens with the war. But like you said, I think if it ends, it could come down just as quick. But I think, too, if people are looking to buy, I mentioned that a year ago, 2 years ago, talk about the 2-1 buy down. That might be a temporary kind of fix for somebody to do maybe a 1-1 or 2-1 buy down to kind of get maybe back in the mid fives temporarily. That might help, because I don't think this is going to be, I hope, nobody's got a crystal ball. I don't know what you guys think, but hopefully this isn't last another year. I don't know.
Well, let me go around the room here. Tell me what you think the month of April is going to be like. In other words, are we going to have more, and I'm talking strictly transaction volume, not sales. Are we going to have more transaction volume in April than last year, or less?
We were on track to have more, so I believe it's going to be very similar. However, it might close down a little bit and end up either being the same or potentially a little less. But I don't think we're going to see huge swings, because we've been through such volatility over the last few years that I think we're overall very settled. As long as interest rates don't skyrocket above 7%, that's what I would say. If interest rates go up, we're going to see a lot more volatility and less transactions. That's my opinion.
Jackie?
I agree 100%. So I expected the spread to get bigger. And so I really anticipated, the spread between the 10-year and the interest rates, how we were before, because that spread had tightened up. And I expected it to get wider and bigger, and it didn't. And I really thought we were going to hit 7%. So like I said earlier, I thought we were going to come to a screeching halt, and we didn't. And everybody that I'm talking to, that they were in the works of doing something, I've not had one person say, never mind, I'm going to wait. They're continuing on. So I think we have a good chance of, as long as it doesn't get crazy and the rates don't go up, if we can stay below 6.5, I think we'll be okay. The other thing I'm seeing a lot is I'm seeing a lot of sellers become realistic. So it's like we had this whole regurgitation of listings that were on the market last year. They pulled off for the holidays. They came back on. Some of them still had wishful thinking. And now I'm starting to see that wishful pricing kind of come down. I'm seeing a lot of price adjustments to where they should be. Not that the prices are dropping, just it seems like people are getting a little bit more realistic, which I think is helping.
Yeah, that always takes time. I think if I listen to both of you, I'll take a little bit out of each one. I think my numbers are showing me that the volume is declining past 2 weeks. And we're going to see some pricing pressure, not major. And this is the overall market. But I think April is going to be very slow volume. And people go, oh, it's Easter, everybody's moving. And, The snowbirds left early, which they did this year. They're all bugging out. But I don't think April's going to spring back. And
Yeah.
when it comes to the month of May, it depends on two things, like the war and gas.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it could end up, if this stuff gets all straightened out and gas prices come plummeting down, we could see a busy summer like we've never had.
Yeah.
But we also, outside of that, maybe we don't call it a black swan, but central bank's going to have to do something unrelated to real estate. They're going to have to make some moves to shore up this system. And that's how everything got all kerplunked in the 70s and 80s. Made adjustments they really didn't need to make.
Yeah.
So, especially Nixon, he put his price and wage control, took us off the gold standard. I mean, just so you never know what can happen.
Yeah, that's
think
true.
Trump will do anything that nuts, but I haven't read the details on it, but these new federal housing projects that they're going to help us with, I don't see that doing anything.
Mm-mm.
No, that's just a short term. That's just a Band-Aid on the whole situation. I mean, there was an article I saw. It says brutal. It was in my mortgage kind of industry. It says brutal spring housing market in store as home buyers await clarity on Iran conflict. I mean, you're going to have a certain percentage of people. I don't know what that is. That people are just going to wait this out and see what happens.
Yeah.
And
So-
I mean, not to say, but we've had stuff the last 20, 30, 40 years, laugh at the world for this shall too pass. I mean, this will eventually pass. And then I don't see it really change. Like you said, if rates stay, if we can see a little softening, I think the administration is going to do everything to kind of keep rates. I think they are very cognizant of rates. I think they will do something to try to keep rates under control, whether some, MBS purchases, but obviously Powell, changing of the new Fed. So who knows what's going to happen there? But as long as we keep rates here, like you said, people can do short-term things to get, like this is to do do the buy downs to kind of get past this a year or two, to keep their rate in the mid fives.
Yeah. One thing I've noticed though, and Jessica, don't you do a lot of 55 plus?
Mm-hmm. I do.
That market has dropped off. It's like the heat hit and they just went home.
And it's been hotter earlier this year. So
Yeah.
I was going to chime in on that I didn't want to interrupt his chain of thoughts, but absolutely with the heat wave that we've got, the beginning of this, record heat, if somebody's got a home back in the Midwest or, another wherever, Canada, they potentially could be worried about what's going on there, or it's just too hot here.
Yeah.
Heck yeah, if you got two homes, you're moving out quick and you're getting out of town. You're dodging.
Oh yeah.
Dodging the heat before the heat puts too
Well,
much.
it kind of ties in a little bit to the question here that says, are more people moving to Arizona or moving out? I think it's kind of even right now, isn't it?
I saw a report. We had 70,000 total that moved into Arizona as a whole for 2025.
Here we have Badicam.
I will make a note.
He says howdy.
I will make a note of it. There's an LO that emailed we have a scenario desk. We have about 80, 90 LOs that we just, if we have something going on, everybody emails something. But one of the LOs just, this is kind of interesting food for thought. He said he just had an appraisal come back in Chandler that said it was in a declining market.
Which is not the case. Chandler is always in the positive.
Yeah.
They're one of the best, aren't they, on our crowd?
Yeah. I mean, and the thing is, they're coming back mostly stable, but there's a few, some appraisals that might, but that's kind of a effect of the last 6 to 12 months where people are reducing prices. That kind of flows through the appraisal eventually. And, it takes 6 to 12 months maybe to start popping that up on reports. But
Chandler, number one. Sorry to interrupt you. That's false news, fake news.
Yeah, it's obviously subjective to an appraiser too. You can fight that.
Right.
there
There might be a reason to have that justified, but.
Well, look at this. Levi McHone branding.
Wow.
Yay. Bringing
What's
friends
that say?
to the stream. Yay.
Oh, that's nice.
Bring
Thanks,
some
Levi.
friends into the stream. And shall we all wish him a happy birthday?
Yeah,
Is it his
right.
birthday?
Is it
His birthday
Birthday
today.
day.
Oh, let's sing
birthday,
happy
Levi.
birthday.
Right?
Shall
Well,
we
I'll tell you
sing?
what I do is I usually call up and go, happy birthday. The song is very short and I hang up on him.
I love it. Well, happy birthday.
Yep, he's going quite along. Happy birthday, Levi. So
Aw.
yeah, it's kind of, I never give my kids a normal birthday call. Yeah.
Keep it interesting, right?
I always give my friends in Marilyn Monroe, happy birthday, Mr. President.
Oh God.
Wait, you've never done that to me.
Oh, well, yeah.
We're not friends.
Probably,
I see.
yeah, I will do that next time. So, but,
Actually, it's good. It's probably better that way.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to tick off your husband.
Right.
He's bigger than me. So, anyway.
So, well, look, guys, I'm going to let us scoot and go enjoy
Yep.
the week. I couldn't tell you what the weather's going to be like. I haven't been following that much either. I'm ready to ramp it up. Got some things going on in the back burner here with the Rick Helps Real Estate Referral Team that I hope we can start seeing some progress this upcoming week. I won't divulge what it is yet, but I think you'll like it. And in the meantime, if you have any questions at all, shoot us an email at rick@rickhelps.com. And if you'd like to see a report for your area, your zip code, there's a link in that QR code. Just click on that. Just put in your zip code and anything else you want to know about your area, your neighborhood, your subdivision. I will get that right out to you as fast as I possibly can.
Yep.
Sonny says the gang is back. Yes, we're all out of prison.
Well, in terms of rates, I'll just jump in quick. I mean, we're going to see some, we got some
You had your chance.
non-farm payroll. Yeah. Non-farm payrolls are tomorrow. East, it's Good Friday, so I don't think we're going to see a lot there. But next week we got some inflation numbers. So I think all these economic news are going to kind of take back seat to the Iran stuff. But stuck in this range, we'll see what happens. But
All
I
right.
sure
Well,
have
great
missed
to
this
see
Rick
everybody
hysterical.
again. Everybody have a good one. I will log us off with a big good night.
take care, everybody.
Take care.